Hello folks, Tiso here. The Misty dungeon event is out and I expected it to be a little more challenging, but it wasn't so far. At least we're getting 423 Primogems, so I'm not complaining. In this challenge, you'll fight a bunch of random enemies, but the final encounter is always the same. It will include the enemies on the top of the list. Your goal in these dungeons is to activate the 3 ancient runes to unlock the final challenge. All of these are combat encounters. There are also some challenges that give you some buffs if you complete it. You can see what kind of buffs and benefits you get by looking at the symbol and color. There are also some traps, but you don't really need to worry about them too much. You can deactivate it by hitting them with the opposing element. Our first dungeon is called the Plunging Trial, and you get a lot of benefits from doing plunging attacks. You will get 70 Primogems just by completing the trial, and you get other rewards by doing some extra side objectives. Some of the side stuff includes doing 5 challenges inside the dungeon, defeating 8 enemies with plunging attacks, do not get hit by more than 5 traps, and finish the dungeon with at least 6 minutes left. It's actually pretty easy to complete all 5 challenges in one single run. And here's the cast of characters we can choose for these trials. Since we get a lot of benefits from doing plunging attacks, I'll use Keqing because she can do a plunging attack whenever she wants. I'll also use Albedo's elevator to do extra plunging attacks when needed. And to be safe, I want to include a healer. And for the final slot, I'll pick a pyro character to balance the elements. So right in front of us is one of the ancient runes. We need to complete 3 of these to open the final challenge. Make use of the eggs that summon air currents. They can help you do a lot of plunging attacks in a short amount of time. If you don't have the air current or Albedo's elevator available, you can hold Keqing's elemental skill and aim upwards. Once you let go, you put a teleport spot in that location. Using your elemental skill again will teleport you to that spot so you can do a plunging attack. Oh, I didn't talk about the trial characters earlier, but they all will have the same default stats. It doesn't matter what level, what weapons, or what artifacts they are using in your account. One benefit is the constellations. If you have multiple constellations of one of the trial characters, you'll keep that in the dungeon as well. So this is me running around the dungeon making sure to do at least 2 side trials in addition to the 3 ancient runes. This will help me get the 5 trial challenge out of the way. I'll also try to kill more enemies with plunging attacks, even though I'm pretty sure I already hit my quota of 8 already. And the last objective to watch out for here is to not get hit by 5 traps. The only scary traps are the lasers. Make sure to time your iframe dash to go through them safely.
Witness my great undertaking!
Don't blink! Cut to the chase! Speed of light!
Another test subject.
Fry! Free! Live!
Incoming! With sword comes shadow.
Coming to be!
Speed of light. Cut to the chase. Hey!
Burst forth.
Incoming.
Coming to feel this ancient power.
Speed. Incoming. Hey! Feel the beat. Don't blink.
After completing 3 ancient runes, you'll see the objective for the final challenge. Since I already activated over 5 mechanisms, I don't need to do this extra one for the bonus reward. When you go down to the final challenge, make sure to either glide or do a plunging attack to not take damage. You can die from the fall. And for the Plunging Trial, the final challenge is a bunch of treasure hoarders, followed by a Pyros Fatui and Sison Mage. All the challenges earlier will have random enemies, but the final one is set. Not much else to talk about for this dungeon. The enemies are pretty easy and the mechanics is pretty self-explanatory. You should not have any trouble completing the 5 objectives.
Speed of light. Hey! Let the show begin.
Coming to be.
Got lucky that with sword comes shadow.
I wasn't done.
Don't blink. Time to rock.
Feel this ancient power. Burst forth.
Ready, steady, go! Let's dance. Pyrotechnics. Hey! Cut to the chase. Speed of light. Hey!
Live.
With sword comes shadow. Blink. Don't blink.
Coming to witness my great undertaking.
Incoming. Don't blink. Feel the beat. Yeah, right till I'm dead. Cut to the chase. Incoming.
Now it's time to claim my reward. Now on to the second dungeon. It looks like we need to heal at least 50,000 HP and defeat 10 enemies with our Elemental Burst. And it looks like the Leyline Order gives us extra energy when we heal up. So I'll be picking characters that have very strong Elemental Burst. And of course a healer to make sure I get that 50k health objective. So it looks like the physical dungeon layout is the same as before, but the trials will be placed differently. Instead of starting with the ancient rune, I have a movement buff trial. Not much else to say about this, the challenges are pretty easy. The only thing I had to worry about is to make sure I take enough damage to heal 50,000 health. If you are not sure you took enough damage, then go and stand still next to the enemies or traps to let them hit you. Oh, and you also do not need to complete all 5 objectives in one run. You can split them up as much as you want. Oh, and if you leave the room of the challenge, you will fail the trial. It doesn't really count against you too much, there's no real penalty for that. The only thing it will affect is to finish the dungeon with 6 minutes left. And that's it, I finished all 5 objectives in one run of the healing trial. If this event remains this easy, I probably will not make any more guides in the later dungeons. Thanks for watching, smash that like button, and remember to have fun, traveler.